would say this. The Ronin is using all his years of wisdom and to explain politely why this little operation isn't really something that... What name did I give? I just want to be consistent here. What name did I give, Gene, for this fellow?
Kagetaro.
I forgot. Kogatara. Okay, and Kogatara is using his, even though he is from an impoverished family,
Yay.
His bearing, his bearing is very, very aristocratic. This fellow believes that he's entitled to everything in the universe. So if this were a battle between PCs, I would use the status rule with you guys as the sort of audience, although other people as the audience. But let's just try this. I'm just checking my rules here. Could one of you if one of you could roll a d20 on behalf of the young man, and if you get a 7 or less, he's coming out ahead on this exchange. Meanwhile, I'm gonna yes. So could someone roll a die for me?
Yeah, I can roll. And I had a 1.
Oh Lord.
We are just the rolling fools tonight.
I'm taking sides with the samurai.
Well, my man makes a very good case, but here.
Yeah, and I'm not kidding. I'm in if I have a place in the conversation, I will take side with the samurai and saying something like first, if there is anything that is your property that we find him, you can be sure that he will bring it back to you. But that's not our goal here. And 2, if the Ronin, and that's how I call him the Ronin.
The Ronin, yes.
If the Ronin is lying to us, I will punish him right now.
Dag nabbit.
And you may consider this with the one that just rolled for this guy, but that's my position in this.
Okay. Well, let me see how good an impression my samurai makes. He makes a hideous botch of his argument. You rolled an 18. He makes a hideous botch of his argument. And he is, in fact, embarrassed himself. And he has to go down and kowtow and ask for forgiveness for his insolence.
That's the Ronin, or?
That's our tough dude. He's had a bad day.
Yeah, he's having a bad day.
So that's the Ronin, just.
Yeah. But again, what has been established at this moment is that, if the emperor himself were here, he would agree this Ronin has misspoken and that this young man has his rights entirely, and no hireling should stand in the way. And he is fuming. But you now have a fifth person joining your little convoy, and that's Kogataro, with his sort of big, chunky horse, not really kind of fitted for these, this backtracks. If you've ever been to the Grand Canyon, you sort of go back and forth with the donkeys trying to get up there. So it is a steep ascent, but you're able to do it. So here, let me get to the map. So of the province, yeah. So that is the first day on the road. That's your last clear, sort of rough terrain, and then you very quickly pass into some steep mountains, and it's a lot of work. Now you, Jin, you are available. You can look for hidden magical things.
I'm kind of interested in stretching my magic. a bit on this trip, especially if we're in long-term play, like hours and hours. So I don't really, so the resource is less critical. But yes, I am quite interested in a couple of things.
Yeah, what are you interested in?
And the actual spells aren't as important, I guess.
Like your basic powers and your yoga powers might be kind of
right. Yeah, but it's like at a 4. I mean, it's not great. I'm thinking. I'm actually quite interested in, once we're onto the mountain, I'm kind of interested in some placation.
Really?
Yeah. The idea here now, I don't know if placating is something you do to a kami when you're like face to face with it, or whether it's just something you can generally do.
It's kind of interesting. If you know where the kami is, you can generally, you'll get bonuses for being at the shrine and burning a bunch of incense, but you can send positive vibes toward a kami.
That's the idea.
As long as you have some idea where it is.
Well, let's see. Treat the kami. Okay, okay. If the kami assigns conditions to granting the request, they may run to one of the more far right. So establishing a shrine to a kami in a certain place, establishing a festival, write a norito of praise to the kami, make sacrifices to kami of food, merchandise, money, etc., make a pilgrimage. Okay, so look, I'm only talking about the minor kami of this freaking path. This mountainside. I'm not talking about like some grand kami. Just you know, you roll 3d3 to find its spiritual power.
Okay, I can do
that. Unfortunately, that knocks me down. But I'm going to just make a habit every morning of placation toward the kami of wherever we're at the moment. I mean, we're talking about like this stream or this outcropping and stuff like that. We're not talking about anything big. So, so you guys are just going to have to get used to it. I open up the trunk that I brought with me, pull out a bunch of stuff, and I do Shinto stuff, right? Which, as you know, is kind of this slow twirling and waving incense around. And,
salt.
And you, after like salt one attempt to make me not do it, you give up.
Well then,
everybody's like, "Come on, we got to go," and I'm like, "Oh." So I don't. Again, I've got a 10, and I think no, damn it! I see. I took my finger out of the page, and that.
The kami, the local thing you're dealing with is 4. No, sorry, 5.
5. Okay, bummer, because that makes it hard. Well, wait, or does it? Let's take a look at it. Okay, powers of the Gakushu. Right. So placation. Treat the kami's status BCS as equal to its rank. Okay, whatever that means. That's if it's doing something.
I have to roll on 5 or under to do something.
Right. The BCS is at a penalty equal to the kami's rank. So 10 minus 5 is 5.
Okay.
And I'm not that confident. Maybe I'm just not very successful at it as I go along. We'll see. Mm-hmm. I roll an actual 5.
Okay.
So what I've done is I have made a norito of praise to the kami. I forgot to mention that, but that's what I wanted to do. So
you've made
first morning out, norito of praise to this local kami, giving notice, that we are here in a state of proper placation, propitiation to their presence, their identity. We are happy to be here with you.
Well, I would say, looking around, because I mean, your friend down at the temple and Ashtari Kobe himself have on multiple occasions said, look, I mean, the snows can come pretty hard up here, and but I would say as you look out over the heavens and read the clouds, it doesn't look as if a nasty winter such as would blow you off a mountainside or bury you in snow is on its way. There's no sign that winter is coming yet. Also, you're looking up in the sky and you have a chance to see something mystical and weird. Could you please roll your wit saving throw?
Holy
your spot hidden thing.
I get to do things. This is awesome. Okay. Wit saving throw, 8 or less. I rolled a 12, unfortunately. It's clouds.
Okay.
Nice
just clouds. Just pretty clouds.
Good enough.
So, Ashitari Kobe says, look, we're not going to make it to the, what's the name? Shinen Village. We're not going to make it today. We're going to have to do one night of camping, and then we should make it by noon tomorrow. So let's just prepare a little camp, keep the fires low, use charcoal, and let's get something to eat. Now, during this time, I would say Jin and maybe, Mitsu and Rokaru. Who are you trying to sort of get to know, if you have to? So you have this young man who came up. Other than that, once he's got the agreement that he can come along, he shuts up pretty quickly, kind of keeps to himself. And of course, Ashitari Kobe is fuming. Do you, in any sense, try to engage with, I was going to call him a brat, but the righteous samurai or the grumpy Ronin? Any of you try to get anything out of these fellas as you're making camp and getting some tea going and the whole deal?
Yeah, I think I'm going to kind of stick with Ashitari because he's a known quantity, but I think, as soon as we kind of get down into the campfire and stuff, I'm going to kind of try to spook him with some ghost stories about the Regino. I'm not going to say, hey, we beat them, we're good, but I'm just going to kind of try to spook him a little bit. Now that he's kind of on a little bit downward turn, to kind of like break his morale a little bit. I don't know if there's a role in that, but that's just...
Well, there totally is. Color. This is another contest. Okay. I would say, do you have rhetoric or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Do you have? Well, you're trying to see who spooks first, right?
Yeah.
So that would mean this to me is another contest.
Okay.
Who can be the toughest? So it is a will saving throw.
Okay, that's my bad one, but. We'll try it.
Well,
okay. So I need a 4 or under. I rolled an 11.
Okay. Now the question is, there are degrees of bad, right?
Okay.
So let me see what.
I'm amused at the idea that you scare yourself.
Yeah. I think I'm scared.
Yeah, that's right. You scare the rest of us, not him.
In the contest of who scares first, the man who has fought probably 80 duels is not easy to scare.
Okay.
So could you please subtract 1 from your on?
Okay.
Your little boyish attempt to try to spook him. Right. Kind of backfires, but you do get him, Mr. Grumpo, to say something. He does say this. He says,
okay.
I have spent my whole life looking death in the face. I know that there's nothing living that cold steel cannot cut. But the other thing I have done is to stay away from things that do not concern me. The madness of the mountains, the madness of the gods, and the madness of the demons. That's how I've made it this far. And Makoto says that you and your little friends have experience with such beasts, and that is why he insisted you come. But I'll tell you this, even though I have never faced such beasts, I could have done it alone, and would have been, and I would have been as brave as when I fought humans. What he's trying to do is he says, basically the gist is this. Makoto insisted that you people come along, and Ashitari's not too happy about that. And he doesn't really think we need a bunch of amateurs who are telling, stories of cutting goblins up. That's the impression he's trying to get. Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
Backtracking through the placation, I do get something for doing it. I name
you
a
get
thing
Shugendo.
I want. No, yes.
Yes.
No, that's not. Well, I would love some Shugendo, but I wanted to talk more about the actual impact of the spell, which
successful use of magic, 1 Shugendo.
Right.
And tell me about your request.
I want a nice, clear, smooth walking sailing to our destination. I want this path to be just like the most pleasant mountain walk we could have. So,
well, the sun will come up on a beautiful clear day. That you will get from this Yamakami. I don't know. Okay, so Mitsu, you heard the ghost story. I won't make you roll to keep your courage.
No, I'm scared, but
well, hold on.
I don't show it. So I'm trying to avoid this conversation by talking with the samurai. This is how
he keeps very formal, polite but very formal. Not
Yeah,
revealing much about himself.
And that's how I treated him until now. Like I've seen that he was keeping his silence, so I just welcomed him from Mali. But now I will wait like the right moment. The hunt has been done. Maybe we have eaten, or we are eating, yeah, I'll ask him more personal question. I don't want to be too blunt, but I will ask things like about this
he says,
box.
If you're asking if I'm free, I'm engaged to marry Makoto's eldest daughter. So please let us not continue. It would just embarrass me.
I think I laugh. I mean, he kept me on surprise. And
you're going to ask what's in the box? What's in the box, man? What's in the box? You're going to ask what's in the box?
No,
sure.
Yeah, Eric, let Greg talk. I'm not sure what he's saying.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Sorry, Greg.
No, you're welcome. So I'm laughing at this, and then I will just talk with the running, which I ignored until now.
Okay.
And maybe it's my way to cut with these ghost stories because I'm. And I will say, how did you lose your master? Because I'm surprised. Why did you choose this one? It seems that you're looking to stay on the lowest status I can see. I just understand why. I just don't understand why.
Well, very discreetly, he tells you sort of about his family fortunes and that they have high rank, and generations ago they were one of the more powerful families, but misfortune here and there has brought them down into poverty, and that quite frankly it's as decorously as he can, he makes it clear that Shosen Makoto has the gold to shore up his family's fortune, and he has the title, and that the lady through marriage and of course through training might be able to be his lady as his family gets its fortune back together. That he's the guy who could get the family fortune back together.
Okay.
So that's that.
Okay. So I'll keep it there. Yeah.
So I think that's about all the information you can get through casual chat. Shall I go to the next morning and traveling on? I think I shall.
Okay, and I'll get my power back.
Yes, as the sun comes up, the sun salutation, great goddess of the sun, patroness of Japan. There she is. It's all nice.
Amaterasu.
Amaterasu.